Happy Wednesday, my magical friends. This is Annika with Witchful Ways for our weekly podcast. This episode, we're going to talk about, just like I promised last week, we're going to talk about manifesting. We're going to talk about a little different aspect of it that I feel a lot of people forget about. So first off, let's go back and talk about what is manifesting. Well, manifesting is bringing about the change that you want, right? Or the being able to achieve or receive your desire through your actions, whether that is magical or mundane. And it has to be a wonderful menage of both of them, right? It's a beautiful dance. Our magical lives and our mundane lives should always be in this wonderful, magical, beautiful dance together, so that they can support each other, so that they can make beautiful things together, right? So that they can make things move together in a way that is just pleasing and tranquil and happy. That's what manifesting is. So when we think about manifesting, and right now it seems like manifesting is the buzzword of the century, right? Seriously, everybody that you look at and things that scroll past on Facebook and all those things, manifesting is the buzzword right now. Well, we as witches and those that live in the magical lifestyle, we've known about the manifesting aspect for a long, long time. So let's get into what is manifesting. Well, we just kind of broke it down, right? What is manifesting? It is being able to achieve or receive your desire through your actions, both magical and mundane. Okay, that sounds pretty simple, right? So one of the things that you can do when you are first starting out in your manifesting journey and testing your skills of manifesting, right? Your abilities and your talents of manifesting, we all have them, is to start with something that's tangible, that you know that you can bring about, that is definite, that is available to you in a period of time, and that is going to be a little not something that's ordinary. Okay? Like maybe, for example, you'd say, I want to see an orange car in the next week, I'm going to see an orange car, because a bright orange car is not something that's very that happens all the time, right? It's not something that's very common. But even more so, you can just simply manifest coins for yourself. Manifest quarter for you. I'm going to find a quarter every 2 days, or I'm going to find 3 quarters this week, or whatever it is. And know that when those things come to you, that you have brought those things to you, that you have brought those things into your path. Here's the thing when it comes to manifesting, right? So we all know that we have to visualize what it is that we want, that we have to understand and know what it is that we want, that we have to put out to universal flow what it is that we want, that we have to work our magical practices to support what it is that we want brought to us from universe. We also know in manifesting that you can't be too detailed, right? We talked about that a couple weeks ago. You can't be too detailed, because then it bottlenecks how fast and what universe can bring to you, but also limits something, because you may ask for one thing and universe may deliver something that is parallel to it, but way better, right? And you didn't even know that you wanted it or that you needed it until universe brought it to you off of your original manifesting actions or endeavors. Okay, so we know what that is. And then we know, of course, that we need to raise those energies up, and we need to feel those energies, and we need to release those energies into universe. And then we have to kind of forget about the how. One of the major, and if you know anything about manifesting, if you take anything away from anything that I've ever taught, it is that you have to forget about the how. You have to forget about the how, because that is where you just are freely allowing universe to deliver to you in however it needs to or it can, to make sure that you're supported. There's always a net there. If you just give it up, you don't worry about the how. I have no idea. I know I'm going to live in that house, but I have no idea how I'm going to get into that house, right? It leaves the universe open to go, okay, well, she knows she's going to be there and we know we have to deliver this for her. So let's figure out how we're going to do it because she's left it completely open to us, or he's left it completely open to us. Okay. So we know that we can't get too detailed, but we also can't be really wide net, right? We just can't say, I want, $1 million, because there's so many different ways that it can come to you. Now, double-edged sword, right? I said, you don't want to get too detailed, but you don't want to be too wide. And $1 million, if you get too detailed about it, then it can bottleneck it up. But if you leave it wide open, you don't want your, beloved grandmother to pass away so that you can get $1 million. Does that make sense? Right? If you think about it in that aspect. So I want $1 million through my own luck or my own working endeavor, right? Like I am going to create $1 million for myself rather than I want $1 million. Okay. But now we're getting into semantics of it, and that's a whole nother lesson. And if you're interested in going into deeper things like that, make sure that you're in my Living a Magical Life Facebook group and or the Sister Circle membership, because we discuss those things in there. Okay. So we know that we have to leave it open. We know that we have to ask for it. We know that we have to desire it. We know that we have to visualize it. We have to feel ourselves as if we've already received it, as if we've already been there and we already have it. We've already been through the process of receiving it, and now we have it. We're looking back on the experience of getting it. That's where you need to be at. You're on the other side of receiving. That's where you're living before you've even received it. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So I always correlate this to when you think back when you were a kid and you were asking for something for your birthday or for Christmas or for whatever, and you're hoping and hoping and hoping, I get this. I hope I get this dinosaur. I really want this dinosaur. This dinosaur is cool. That's all I want is this dinosaur, right? And then Christmas morning or your birthday or whatever, you see all the gifts and you're like, oh man, I hope one of those is the dinosaur because I really want the dinosaur. I know one of those is going to be the dinosaur. So you're super excited about it coming. So you keep that. And then you start to open your gifts and you get the dinosaur. What does that feel like? Oh my gosh, right? It's here. You got it. It's in your hand. It's amazing. And now you're the day later or that evening. What does it feel like to have it? To have wanted it so bad, that moment of receiving it, and now you have it. That feeling of now you have it, that's where you need to live for manifesting. Okay, so that's the feeling of it. But here's the thing that I really wanted to talk about in this podcast is we forget that we're manifesting all the time. We have to do the mundane actions, right? Again, you can't just ask for a new job. I want a job that I want a new job. I need a new job, as compared to asking for, I want a job that I make $50,000 a year at, or $100,000 a year at, or, whatever it is, 6 figures a year at, whatever, right? Again, semantics. But so we have to do the physical action to be able to bring that to us. We can't just go, oh, I want a 6-figure job. I'm going to manifest a 6-figure job for myself and then sit back for the next 3 months playing video games, thinking that it's just going to come knocking on our door as we're shoving Doritos in our face, playing video games. I don't know. I don't play video games, but right. So it's not just going to drop in your lap like that. You have to do some mundane action. If you're going to ask and manifest for yourself a 6-figure business or job, then you need to put in the work. You need to put out the applications or your resumes, right? Without doing that, you don't have that greater chance of it actually coming into your life. Because what manifesting is it has an aspect, a magical support aspect to it, of working within the flow of energies, universal flow of energies, and aligning yourself with it. And aligning yourself with it means that you've brought yourself into the mindset, right? Of that, I've already had it. I have it now. I've been through the process of wanting, receiving, and now I have it. And this feels great. This is what it feels like now. And that mindset, allowing energy to flow to and through you, right? By keeping yourself energetically aligned. But you also have to know that it is bringing what your desire to achieve or receive is into your path. You're pulling it into your path. And you're doing that with little bitty things every single day. So everything that you are doing every day is manifesting your future. And I don't think a lot of people take that into great consideration when they're talking about manifesting. I think they remember the first part, right? I know what manifesting is. I know I have to do a spell, and I know then I have to Ronco, set it and forget it. For those of you that remember what Ronco is, but set it and forget it. I don't have to worry about the how, and I just have to visualize how it feels, right? I'm going to use my 5 senses, and I'm going to know how it feels. Yeah, that's all part of it. That may be all part of your ritual work or your spell work. And yes, those are 2 separate things, but it may be part of one of those, but you still have to live in alignment with it. That means you're living and doing the things that are bringing it into your path, right? So we're missing the manifesting that's in progress every single day. It doesn't just happen overnight. Things just don't happen overnight. You don't just brush your teeth today and say, oh, that's good, right? No, we do it over and over. You don't just eat once a day. Well, some of us do, but not me, but right? You don't just, oh, I'm just going to eat, once today and that's it. I'm done. No, you do it repeatedly. So if you take that into correlation or consideration with the same thing when it comes to manifesting, you have to have the fun. You have to see the breadcrumbs. You have to recognize the little things that are happening around you that are bringing those bigger things to you and go, heck yeah, I'm manifesting this. This is in alignment with where I want to be going and what I want to achieve and or receive. You have to have the ability to understand that even though we've forgotten about the how universe is going to bring it, we still have to stay in the lane of driving to where we want to be. And I think that's the part that some of us forget about, or that we don't put 2 and 2 together to realize is there's a package, right? Kind of like those people that cleanse a space and never refill the void. It just doesn't work that way. So remember that manifesting is ease and flow. It's really easy. It's really easy. Manifesting what you desire and what you want is easy. But you have to be in alignment with it. You have to do both the magical aspect and the mundane actions. And that includes keeping yourself in line and aligned to where you want to be. And where you want to be is where you're visualizing yourself on the other side of having received it. Right? So you don't have this huge goal. I mean, you may have, okay, this is my goal. I want to hit 6 figures, in my business or in my job or get a new job or whatever by the end of the year. But that's not going to happen overnight. You have to take the little steps. You have to break it down. You have to work towards it. You have to work yourself up to it. Right? You don't just, if you don't just go, okay, I want to run a marathon, and you don't do anything or you only, run a half a mile twice a week and expect that you're going to be able to run a marathon without an issue. No, you don't start. You start with that maybe half a mile a week, and you build up from there until eventually you can run the marathon. So you're going to start with the little bits, keep yourself in alignment so that you can run the marathon and get down the road to where you desire to be, which is again on the other side of already receiving it. Right? Okay, so that is my manifesting kind of little tidbit and help, hopefully. Again, if you have questions or anything or would like to connect, make sure that you get into my Facebook Living a Magical Life group. And or if you want to dig deeper and work one-on-one with me, get into the Sister Circle membership. We have a ton of fun in there. All right, until next week, have a wonderfully magical rest of your day.